Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to go into a bunch of different topics, but a big thing happened yesterday, big trade yesterday, so we're going to get into that right after that. But first of all, I got to bring in my main man. Welcome back to the show, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Of course, we got the comment cards, the question of the day, dessert with your man, Curt. It's April 1st. So, hey, happy April 1st. Happy Autism Awareness Month. And I'll get into more on that during the Dessert with Curt. But, you know, as always, hey, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't have fans. We don't have viewers. We have family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Now, let's get this thing started.
Right now.
There you go. Welcome back to the show, people. Now I'm going to kick it to Jim for an outstanding story that happened yesterday. Jim?
Oh, late last night, we had a trade, and the Lions have traded the 7th overall pick to New England. Now, the particulars are this. The Lions get the Patriots #1 for next year, the 15th overall pick, this year's 3rd round compensatory pick, which is pick 94, a 4th round pick, number 122. And the Patriots were sending them the 7th pick and Jahlani Tavai, which was interesting to me since the, square peg and round hole. And as Curt mentioned earlier, it is April 1st, so it's an April Fool's joke. Hope I got you. April Fool's. There is no trade. We can only do that once a year and have some fun with it. But no, that's actually not a real news story. So just made that up. But I hope I got a few of you anyway.
Yeah, that was all, Jim. It's all fun, but
it's all good fun.
We need. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that trade if it did.
You know what? That's the trade I actually kind of want. So I kind of put it in there.
Yeah,
so
that's
what do you
the trade.
think if we actually had that happen? If the Lions actually traded that and they could put through Jahlani Tavai in the deal, which New England wanted the whole time.
You can throw him into any kind of deal to go anywhere.
Can we get a Lunchable for him?
I mean, Dan Campbell already said that if you look at it, he was like, well, you got John Tavai and that guy from that draft class. And it was kind of like he doesn't fit for what the Lions are trying to do. You know, what Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn are trying to do. They want athletic, speedy linebacker, that can get down the field and cover. And that's something that he cannot do.
He can't do that.
He can't do that. Maybe make him an edge. I don't know.
We got
maybe
edge,
a rotation guy. I don't know where he even fits.
Well, you got a Quara
into the
at an
scheme.
Edge. You got the other Quara at defensive end. I mean, I don't know
where he fits in. I just don't know where he fits in. I wouldn't be surprised.
Special teams.
If we traded him for a ham sandwich like we did
we just let him hang back in special teams and never run anywhere. And then, if the guy gets past him, he just goes after that guy. I'm just kidding. That's a horrible idea.
I don't know. It's one of those things with Tavai that it's just, I never liked the pick.
I didn't either.
It was, we've said this several times on the show, so don't kill me for, but just the fact that, I mean, that's had to be the weirdest moment in Lions draft history where the guys were just kind of like, what?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me.
It's like, huh? Who's this guy?
He actually played pretty good his rookie year. He didn't do too bad. I think he had an interception, and he's making a bunch of tackles. And it was like if he was in the right place, he had pretty good instincts for the football. I thought he did. When he was playing middle linebacker, I thought he played much better than he played edge. But everybody else wants him to be edge. He's too slow to play edge. Sorry, he just is.
I just don't know where he fits in this scheme.
I
just don't know.
Yeah,
because Collins is going to be the middle linebacker.
Well, he's a good read and react guy. I mean, when you're playing that 2-gap, he's a good read and react guy because he's so slow. He can wait for everything to come to him.
Yeah, this is very true. But I just don't get it. I don't, but hopefully he can find his niche somewhere. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm just never want to say that, a player is trash unless I really feel that, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes,
Poor kid too. I mean,
I feel that it's not his fault that he got, drafted and he got put in a position where he got put into a scheme where he didn't fit. Not, I don't know why he played really well. I mean, he did. He was a really good player in college. He was just unseen because of the fact he plays in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, and I understand where you don't. A lot of those players out there don't get a lot of don't get a lot of shine because okay, this is like the Pac-12, right? A lot of people don't get watched from the Pac-12 because they play out there on the West Coast, and the time difference is for some people is, especially their night games, it's terrible. But guess what? So you add another 3 hours onto that, and that's when they're playing in Hawaii. So you're talking about 6 hours behind East Coast time. So you're not going to get a lot of people that are watching those games.
I had a beat writer from Hawaii on when Tavai was picked and what we were getting in Tavai, and he was just raving about the kid. He just loved him, thought he was one of the best players on the team. I think he has a huge heart. And you know what? I hope we find a spot for him. I do. But I don't know. I think we could trade him for a Lunchable, and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean,
sounds terrible.
I would want to trade him somewhere where he fits, though. I want him to go.
New England. Oh, yeah. There it is, right there, man.
Yeah. I think that he would fit into their scheme for what they want out there in New England, but it's just not working out in Detroit. And I don't think that he's going to fit the scheme what Aaron Glenn and those guys want to run in Detroit. So
Fansided had an article, and I thought this was kind of an interesting take. Are the new Detroit Lions content to tank in 2021? What? Yeah, they think that this team, the way it's built with the injuries, with the question marks at the wide receiver position and kind of all the positions, we got rid of a lot of talent, and we didn't bring in as much talent as we gave away. And I believe that too. I do. You look at the quarterback position, I think that's a downgrade. You gave away how many people? Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay. I think that receiving core was better, not faster, but better. Okay. So I can see what they're saying, that they think that, we're just content to give up the season. I don't think that, but
I don't think that at all. Dan Campbell said it himself. He said, just because, we're bringing in guys to compete, we know what we're doing, because they have to kind of fix the salary cap issue. I mean, I've said this before. They weren't going to bring in any big name guys. They didn't have the money to do it. So they brought in serviceable guys, and they got what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? They know what they want. They want speed guys that mesh with Jared Goff's, passing style that can create separation. So they got what they want. They may not have gotten who they want, but they've gotten what they want. So they're going to bring in guys. Dan Campbell said they're going to bring guys to compete. They know it's a short-term deal, 1 or 2 years, and you have to prove it. And if you compete and you go out there and you prove yourself, then you're going to be one of those guys. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. They're looking for guys who are going to, play hard. It's one of those things where I don't think it's a content with tanking, because Dan Campbell said it doesn't give us an excuse to lose. We don't get a pass for losing because of the fact that the situation that we're in. I mean, I don't envy Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell at all with the situation that they came into, with the salary cap issue being what it was and the roster being what it was, and they weren't in an enviable position coming in the first place, where they had a roster where, you had a lot of backup guys on the team anyway, that was getting paid first string money. You bringing in guys that are, on other teams, second or rotational players, and they're getting starter money on their team that wasn't that competitive last year at all. So you have to tear it down to the studs and rebuild it into kind of what you want it to be. And I think they're going to get, in the next couple of years, they're going to get who they want instead of just what they want. They want speed guys. Well, you got some speed guys. Are they the best speed guys? No. But are there speed guys? Yes. Okay. In the draft, maybe you can get a speed guy that you want, who you want, a Jamar Chase or a Waddle or a Devontae Smith. You can get who you want, but first you got to start with what you want, because basically you had to tear it down to the studs to build it up right.
I totally agree with that. I don't think we're tanking, though. I wouldn't say
Nah,
that. I
I
just
don't
don't
think we're
think this is
tanking.
going to be a great team. They
Mm-mm.
didn't have much to work with when they came in, and that the salary cap was terrible. How do you build a team with hardly any cap and, 6 draft picks? I mean, they really, to be honest, they really screwed the Lions going heading out the door. And I think that Brad Holmes and company have done some really good job of freeing up cap space. They've done really smart acquisitions. I'm not going to say they're the best. It's basically everything has to work right for them to get to 7 or 8 wins this year. I
Yeah,
don't see that. I just don't.
yeah.
Nothing ever goes 100% right for this team anyway. So I don't see that happening.
You know, I pick five. I pick five to between 5 and 7 wins. I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
exactly where I'm at.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
5 to
that's
7.
and please don't kill me. I'm not wishing that the Lions, because I get killed all the time for this. I don't wish. I'm
Yep.
not wishing the Lions lose. I'm just being a realistic person. I'm putting realistic expectations on the roster that we have right now. Now, could Kings get better? Free agency's not over. I know we have a cornerback coming in to visit here
Yep.
shortly, and then
Yep.
we have the draft coming up. So we could get a whole bunch of diamonds, especially in those middle to late rounds, and which Brad Holmes is pretty much known for as a college scout. So I mean, but I don't, man, just to have to come in and to start from pretty much from the you got to build the foundation first to get it right, and I think that's what they're doing, and the moves they're making are headed toward that area. Now, here's a thing that came up. Rod Wood says you start to consider uniform change. Now, I had it wrong. I believe I read a report that the Lions were due to get uniform changes this year, but it's actually in 2022. He's starting to think about that. Here's my question to you, Jim. What changes, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before, what changes would you make to the uniform?
I'd like to change the helmet. I don't think the helmet's been changed in a long time. I would like to reintroduce the black into the uniform. And I know it's really kind of close to the Panthers, so I'm not sure they would do this, but I do like the black silver, like the black helmet with like a silver and blue lion. I think that would work really cool. I think the font could change a little bit for the Lions.
The woodmark, the words.
Yeah, the font. I think they could change it up to make it look a little more aggressive. I don't think we change the logo as the lion is concerned. I don't think we want to do that, but I do think that we need some different colors in the uniform, and a few changes that way. That's what I would like to see.
Okay. Would you change the color rush?
Yes, I don't think they're that wonderful. I'm not sold on those at all. I don't like them very much. And I don't know what I would change it to be quite honest about it. You know what I mean? So I'm not. If people don't know this, I am colorblind, so I don't see colors really good anyway. So that's a difficult part for me anyway. So I'll leave it there.
Okay. I would like a blue helmet. That's my thing. I would like the
that would be
blue
sharp
helmet.
too.
Yeah, I would like that. Kind of like what Tennessee changed their helmet to the primary color being the darker color, or the home jersey color. They transferred their helmet. I like that deal. Would I change? What would I change about the uniforms? I think I would go with the all white color rush. Maybe all white, the white with the blue stripe on the pants. One thing that, and we talked about this offline. One thing that I would add to the uniform that hasn't been there is the captaincy. Bring back the captaincies. I like the captain's logo for the captains. They earned that position. They earned to be a captain. They should have that denoted on their uniform. So I think that I missed that really. I didn't like the fact that we went to that rotational game captain crap. I was like, no.
Yeah, I don't like
and
that.
Then we went back to the captains for the season, but then you don't put in the captaincy back. Why not bring the captaincy back? I like the fact that it gives that person a little bit more responsibility, and it denotes that they have that on on their uniform for a reason. So, they're a leader on the team, and it gives them their little extra, added recognition for being, a person who's been voted a captain by the people on the team. So bring back the captaincy and blue helmet. What would I change the color rush to? Like I said, I think I would do like a white. I'm not really sold on the gray, because the Lions colors aren't gray. It's Honolulu blue and silver. So if it was more of a silver color, yes. But the gray, I never really got. I have a couple of those jerseys, and it's all right. But
I like your take. I like your take on the white jerseys, because then we know who's playing and who's not.
Yeah.
The dirty jerseys are the guys that are really getting in there and doing something.
Yeah, but that would, but I kind of like that, because I do like the when they go Smurf, when they go with the all blue. I like that Smurf. That. Think about the Smurf uniform with a blue helmet. Oh man, I think that'd be pretty slick.
No, that'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty slick.
I'd like to see the all black uniform.
Yeah.
Back.
No,
I really like the way the the Calvin Johnson jerseys look like that, and with the black helmet though. I think that would look really cool.
If the Lions were to keep the silver helmet, I would say go to a Honolulu blue face mask. I miss those Honolulu
I like that
blue.
Too. It's a good idea.
I miss the Honolulu blue face mask. But let us know in the comments what you think about what your changes would be to the uniform. That's always something that's a little bit different. We're gonna kick it to Jim for the Hall of Fame, the Wall of Fame.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was going to go into a couple more things about Rod Wood's press conference.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So we didn't discuss the fact that Rod Wood had talked about that he's in talks with the state of Michigan and the government to try to have as many people as we can have in there. Roger Goodell is saying we're going to have full stadiums this season. I find that very hard to believe unless we have vaccination cards and stuff. I find it hard to believe.
Yeah.
But I would like to have as many people as possible. They also talked about us getting the draft back in Detroit. So he's been trying to do that. Also, the 17th game, we will be on the road versus Denver. Also, the other thing that came out was about the international play. When that starts going again, it looks like we're going to have every 8 years. Is that correct? Am I doing that right?
I believe so. What he said is a team would do it every 8 years, and I think that spreads the wealth. I think that Jacksonville has been kind of hogging that stage for a while. They've been doing that for a while, and I believe it has to do with the international ties of their owner Sean Khan down there in Jacksonville. So I think he, hey, we'll take the international game. He gets to go, hang out back overseas where he, in the area where he grew up, matriculated from, but. It's not fair to just to hog that spotlight. So send some because I know one time people were like, well, Jacksonville should just move overseas.
I know they should. but they expanded to Germany and
Germany.
They said they left it open for other things. Here's my idea. You have a 17th game.
Right.
And instead of screwing us out of a home game like you did this year, you could have basically had that 17th game throughout the schedule for every team, and every team gets a chance to go overseas in one of those different markets. Like some couple teams would go to Mexico and play a doubleheader that day. A couple teams would go to London, a couple teams would go to Germany and the places that we're trying to open. That way you don't screw teams out of home games like you did us this year.
Right. I feel you. So, it will be, that extra game will be over, an international game. So, throughout your schedule. So you still maintain your road games, your 8 road games and your 8 home games.
Road games, 8 home games and an international game. And
I like that idea.
It's not the, and whoever gets the home field advantage, be honest, there's no home field advantage with this.
Yeah, there isn't. There's never a home field advantage when you play overseas, except for Jacksonville because
because they're used to it. It's almost home for them over there.
Oh, yeah, it is. So, but I like the fact that they're trying to grow the game. You think about this. They tried it earlier and with that World League, whatever, and it just didn't take off. NFL Europe.
European League.
But I don't think they were trying. It wasn't an organic type of growth. Basically, it was like, okay, here's a league,
We're
and
throwing teams and all this stuff, and we're
yeah,
gonna
and it
like
was
football
like
no matter
no.
what.
And now they're trying to where it is a NFL is a global, brand. It's really challenging, football or soccer, as far as to be a global sport. So
That
you
is
look
such a
at that.
That's such a good point, because
Yeah.
soccer has tried for years to be a major sport in the United States, and just it can't do it because
Yeah.
NFL is so strong. But over
Yeah.
there, soccer is so strong, or football,
Yeah.
that the NFL can't get a stronghold over there.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to build it. Or now I can see that in the United States as well, where now you have bigger fan bases for Major League Soccer from MLS. So they have a bigger stronghold now because they kind of grew it in markets where we can kind of grow it organically and grow the game. They started the league and then it was a smaller league, and then now they added teams, and as they grew it organically, it became more popular in the U.S. And same way with that, with doing the international games, let's grow it organically, bring teams over. When you see all the different teams, when you have the game, because it's, all the teams are, kind of represented in one game. So it could be Jacksonville versus Miami, but you see Lions gear and Falcons gear and all kind of Cowboys and everybody else, because they just want to get an NFL game in because they want the NFL product. And I think that was the issue with the World Football League or NFL Europe, is because you sent B players over there. It was a B league. You can't have a developmental league overseas, because they want NFL football. They don't want they don't want XFL football. They want NFL football. So I think that was an issue as well for that growth. But I'm interested to see how doing the new international schedules, how it's going to grow the game globally.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's go to that Wall of Fame now. Sorry, Curt.
It's all good.
Right. It's our bronze level. We got Northwest Kent, and it's grown since you've been on, Curt. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Northwest Kent, Art Allen, Bubba Bo, Midwest Lion, Detroit Drew are our bronze level. We have on the silver level, Go Lions, my man Nomis J, who always rocks with us. Our gold membership level is Miles Gibbs, Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, Dr. Detroit. The doctor is always in. Bob Corzo, new member. Just in the D, new member. And Turner Burley upgraded to gold the other day. So really appreciate all the new gold members and all the new people. We had a gold members meeting yesterday on Zoom where you got to know people. We got to know Dr. Detroit. Shout out to you, Dr. Detroit. That was a fun time. Love talking Lions with you. I wish more people would have shown up for that. We are putting that in the community under the gold membership. So if you see that, the link was in there. So we're going to continue to try that and go there. We have one more big announcement. This is not an April Fool's thing. Starting tomorrow and every Friday, we're going to have a brand new thing coming up for Detroit Lunchtime, Detroit Lions Talk. Free for all Fridays. The 11 o'clock time slot, we will be live tomorrow doing the show and interacting with our fans and just having a good old time back and forth. You can bring some questions. We'll try to discuss things. Don't make them don't go too fast or we won't be able to do it. But we will do that tomorrow. And so that will be a live stream tomorrow and every Friday at 11 a.m. So I just wanted to let you know about that. So, so that'll be a lot of fun. Now,
I got the trivia today. We're gonna go into Detroit Lions on the Prowl trivia. Now, the question yesterday was, what nickname was originally given to the Carolina Panthers that later became a Detroit Lions nickname? Now, I know this because I have been down. Actually, I was here when the Carolina Panthers started back in the mid 90s. I was living in North Carolina then as well. So, I know the answer to this one. It is the Cardiac Cats.
Yes,
the Cardiac Cats.
And the winners on this one on Facebook was Pete Ledesma.
Again.
And on Twitter, that dude is a genius, man. I swear. Yeah. On Twitter, Bobby Boulders. What a name, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Bobby Boulders is the winner on Twitter. So we're going to have that up. And we'll have more trivia tomorrow, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
actually probably say the question live in the chat tomorrow. So that'll be
definitely
interesting. We'll have some fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to your comment cards now and see what you had to say about yesterday. We started out with David Beauchamp, and he says, I would love to have Sewell at 7. Then he could eventually transition to left tackle, and Decker would move to the right. I am really not sure about Decker on the right side. It might work. I don't
like
know.
Decker. I like Decker. Decker's been having a really good couple of years on the left side, so I don't know about moving him to the right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I do
it's
like
a totally different. I think it's a different skill set and stuff, but that's okay. I mean, he's doing really good at the left tackle. I'm saying they're saying eventually, so when he gets old, or he's almost at the end of his deal, switch him up so that Sewell could get the left tackle, and we just have left tackle covered, for how long? A long
I feel
time.
you. All right, Lucky. Lucky. All right, cousin Lucky. All right, there are plenty of good tackles in this draft. Lion Scouting knows you can get one in the second or third round. You got to watch more film on free agent on these O-line prospects. Lion need a defensive playmaker, or a game-changing wide receiver for golf in the first round. Okay, Lucky. Just like you said, we need to watch more film on offensive line prospects. You need to watch more film on wide receiver prospects.
I agree with that.
Because there are plenty of wide receiver prospects in this draft as well. So, and why not get for your offensive line is so more important. I would want the best offensive line prospect.
I would too.
And I would want Sewell or Rashawn Slater at 7.
Yep, me
That's
too.
just me.
And I'll tell you this much. Okay, so here we go again, as I have to educate people, because it seems like people are not getting this. So I'll keep doing it until you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
We need defensive playmaker. We do. Absolutely, we do. But there's just not one at 7 that jumps out at me and says that is a top 10 pick.
Nope.
Micah Parsons might be that guy, but I'd rather have the offensive tackle over him. Wide receiver. We need a game-changing wide receiver for Goff. Goff is a downgrade from Stafford, number 1. Stafford had Calvin Johnson. And how many playoff games did we win with Stafford and Calvin Johnson? 0. So keep doing the same thing, and good luck to you.
To be honest with you, I think the only defensive player right now, to be honest with you, is graded in a top 10 pick is Patrick Surtain. Yep. That's the only guy who's graded in the top 10 as a defensive prospect. So,
okay, you get off of the soapbox there. We'll get back on it in a little while. So, Thomas Donner with a 17th game. I would look at drafting another running back. I think we're going to do that anyway. Because it looks, we only have 3 right now. We need at least 4.
We got 3 on the roster right now. Mm-hmm.
If you count Bodden and Kabinda, I guess you got
Kabinda.
5.
You could for 5, but I don't count them I don't count them as running backs. They're big fullbacks. I don't count them as running backs.
But he brings up a really good point here. With 17 games and the amount of injuries we get in 16 games, I hope we're going to be allowed to have a bigger roster, because we're going to need backup players. Because an extra game, that's extra pain. So what do you got next, Curt?
Chris Sajowski says the only way you take a right tackle is if you trade down. Slater is not worth the 7th overall pick.
Here we go again.
Okay. Christopher, I understand what you're saying. I would like for us to trade down and get Slater. However, I don't think 7 is a stretch for Slater. I just don't. I would like us to trade back to get Slater. You know what though? If you look at his pro day workout, if we trade back and we're like 15, there's a possibility that Slater's not there at 15.
There's mock drafts right now that have Slater going 6.
Yep.
They have Sewell going third. No, not third. Wherever Cincinnati picks.
I think that is 3rd or 4th, something like that.
It's 4th because San Francisco's 3rd.
Yeah, Francisco's 3rd, so it's 4th. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, here's another one. Matthew Ferguson. Remember when Robert Gallery was the can't miss offensive tackle that was going to be the future Hall of Famer, and everybody was on that bandwagon. Be careful of the hype. On the same token, this draft is very deep at receiver. Just be smart on how we fill this roster. Okay, so let me address the Robert Gallery thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Charles Rogers ring a bell. Let's see. Mike Williams ring a bell. Come on, there
Roy
are
Williams.
busts in every single draft, and I can't name you how many quarterbacks have been busts that people have taken first overall.
Even the guy that wasn't on our team, Tony Manders, was supposed to be the end all be all tackle out of Michigan State.
He went to the Packers.
Yeah,
and he didn't really pan out all that well. I'm just saying, you know what? Be safe with your pick or whatever. Okay, I can understand that, but you have just as many wide receivers and just as many busts in pretty much every other category. So if we're gonna just keep naming names, and so maybe we just don't take anybody at 7. Maybe we just let that pick go. Come on. Yikes.
Okay. Doug Wagner says we had Matt Nelson, as you recall, who played real well at right tackle, let alone Tyrell Crosby. Our tackles don't suck.
Yes, they do.
That right the tackle on the right side. You just named 2 guys that aren't starter level guys. They're not. They're swing tackles. They can come in, they can spell it, tackle, but yeah, did they play good in cleanup duty? They played all right in cleanup duty. Are they starter level right tackles? No, they're not. They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're backups for a reason. They're not starting right tackles. They're just not.
So, okay, here's my question. If Matt Nelson and Crosby are so good, why did they go get Big V? Huh? I was kidding. I'm sorry. Some of this stuff.
I mean, you got. I mean, and like this, and I want you guys to understand where we're coming from. We're not crapping on your. We're not crapping on your opinion, your comment.
No.
But we're just saying what we feel. You tune into our show, or you watch us because you want our opinion, and this is our opinion. Mm-hmm. We're just because we have a disagreement don't mean we're crapping on what you're saying.
No.
I'm looking. I'm trying to look at it at a realistic point of view where that right tackle is going to be so key to what we want to do for the Lions. We want to run the ball.
I guess I'm at the point where I'm just sick of the comments like you need to research more and this show's garbage and I'm not going to watch this anymore because you keep talking about offensive tackle. I'm just a little bit in the area saying, you know what, you guys need to start watching some film and you guys need to start figuring out how to build a good team. Mm-hmm. You keep wanting to build wide receiver out. We've done that over and over and over again. It's the definition of crazy, is continuing to do the same thing over and over again.
Insanity,
expecting the same result. And that's what you're doing. Go right ahead. I don't care. But let's try to build a dominant offensive line. I'm not talking about building just okay, we've got good pieces there. It's fine. Mm-hmm. No, we need to run the ball. We need to protect Jared Goff. We need to have some sort of running game and a play action for this to work. And I don't care what quarterback you have. You have a dominant offensive line and your offense is a lot better. It just is.
Think about this. Think about the teams. Just think about the teams that were made deep playoff runs, right? Before all the injuries, Kansas City, off a great offensive line. Then they had a lot of injuries happen, and that's what just took them down in the Super Bowl because they lost, some depth from offensive line. The Rams, great offensive line. The Buccaneers, great offensive line. The Packers, great offensive line.
Dallas Cowboys in the days of Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Championship teams have really good. There's not a bad team with a bad offensive line that wins the Super Bowl. It's just not.
And the thing is, for me also, when I think about this, I think it's offensive line and defense. So I'm 100% with people that say that we need defensive playmakers.
Yes,
I'm not blind.
I agree with that.
But we have 2 stud offensive tackles that we could take that could solidify that position. We already have a Pro Bowl center. Jonah Jackson looks really, really good. The other guy that I always forget his name, help me out.
Decker.
Taylor Decker. Every time. Forget his name every single time. That's the makings of a good core. And if Vaitai gets his foot right, I think we can kick him into guard and he's really good.
Yeah.
And if you get a stud defensive or offensive tackle on the right side. Now, all of a sudden, this offensive line is going to be good for years to come, not just now. We've tried to build the offensive line in Detroit, and we've failed, to be quite honest about it. But we've hit on the last couple of picks, and I think that we're not done building it. Let's finish that project before we go and get the skill positions. It's a 3-year build for me anyway. So I don't see us having to get playmakers right now. I just don't.
And just to be honest, and from what I see from looking at Brad Holmes, the LA Rams didn't have a bunch of first round wide receivers on their roster.
No, they didn't.
They didn't have that. That's not what they had. They had speed guys, bunch of 2s and 3s that can get separation and get down the field, and they can get open for Jared Goff. And that's what we need to bring in. That's what we need to bring it in now.
Yep.
Guys that
get that later.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, as long as we can get some guys, we can teach them how to catch. Which I think Williams can catch. I just think his problem was an injury.
Field, he's good.
But Perriman, need to get him some catches. But some of those guys, like the what's his name, Ratley, was just underused. He was definitely, think about the wide receivers they brought in ahead of him. Jarvis Landry, OBJ. He wasn't getting on the field with those guys.
Not with those guys, no.
Nah.
But I'm saying this is a build. It's not a rebuild because we haven't had anything. So it's a build, and you have to build this the right way. Why did Stafford fail here for 12 years? Because we didn't have a team around him. Because we didn't have a good offensive line. Because we didn't have a run defense game most of the time. We never had a top 5 defense, top 5 running game. No.
Just seeing him getting, that was just always, you just always saw him picking us up off the ground. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I hated seeing him go through that, always pulling himself off the ground. So I like the fact that, I would want us to go offensive line and
also
the best offensive line.
You got to look at what's there in this draft too. We have 4 quarterbacks that could make it in the top 10. We have 3 wide receivers that I think are top 10. Then you got Kyle Pitts, and then you got the Pitts, and then you got the 2 offensive tackles, and maybe Patrick Surtain. Now, out of all those people, right? I think offensive tackle makes the most sense for Detroit. I think that right tackle position gets solidified, and that is a really good build for in 2023. This kid's going to have 3 years under his belt.
And you look at that, and by that time,
line will mature together.
And it's just one of those things. And you think about, bringing in, Jamal Williams and, and having, DeAndre Swift. That's something that they can work behind.
Yep.
We can control the clock, and we can be competitive because we keep our defense on the sidelines.
Right.
We control the clock and keep our defense on the sidelines.
Now we have to address the defense, and that will be addressed in the draft this year, next year. And next year, there's probably more defensive players come out. This is not a defensive draft.
The defensive draft will be next year.
Right. And so here we go. We got 2 first-round picks next year. Let's address the defense that year. And if we need skill position, then we can get that in 2023 or maybe in free agency 2022 when we're ready to compete in 2023. Yeah. That's the way I feel about it.
There's a ton of second round linebackers that are really, really good this year that come out and they have great skill sets. They're just not first round graded guys.
Yeah. There are. And anyway, we gotta get off the soapbox for a minute. Okay. We're gonna get a lot of hate, but that's okay. We love our haters too. Yeah. Keep doing the thumbs down. That's fine. Just messing with you. I do. I don't mind at all. I really don't. This is the Lions football. This is Lions football fans. This is what we do, man. We disagree, and that's okay. We don't hate the person. We just don't like the comment so much.
It is what it is. I mean, because just like you guys don't agree with what we say, we do. You saying what you're saying, it doesn't automatically mean we're going to agree with you once you say it.
Right. Absolutely. It's just our opinion, just like it's your opinion and everybody else's opinion. But we just want to win. All of us, bottom line, want to win. Question of the day: what would you like to see for a new jersey next year? What kind of things? Me and Curt gave kind of some ideas and stuff like that. What do you think? What do you think should be a jersey changes for next year? What do you think? Put it in the comments below. You can say it in the chat today at 11 when we're in the premiere today. But right now, my favorite part of the show, it is the dessert with my man Curt.
Now, as I said earlier, it is April 1st, and April is Autism Awareness Month. And I am dedicating this entire month of shows. Every time you see me on Detroit Lions and Proud or the Die Hard Dan podcast, I will be wearing a autism awareness shirt. I've had plenty of them, especially with the Lions logos on them. So I will be wearing that in honor of my son. Autism is a disorder that affects 1 in 5 children in this country that are born. Our newborns are on the spectrum in some shape or form or fashion. So please support autism awareness. Go over to autismspeaks.org, or you can really check out some of the local autism societies in your area. Most counties have them. So go out and check out the autism awareness, and please be understanding to those families that are affected by autism. So Curtis Williams still the third, my son. I'm dedicating this month of shows to you, my man. Some people get to worship their heroes from afar, and I got to raise mine. So that's one thing. So
I love that.
Autism Awareness Month. Please be kind and be understanding. So
Absolutely. Oh wow! Shout out to your son, Curt.
yeah.
Right here. I fully support Autism Awareness Month, and hopefully every day we're going to be able to bring something else for Autism Awareness Month all month long here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We don't shy away from the issues here, so
Yeah.
love that. My final thoughts for today is, let's let everybody. I understand that I have a strong opinion, and I understand that you guys have a strong opinion, but there's no need for hate or for all that other stuff. Let's just stick to the opinions and stick to the facts, and let's go with that instead of all the you got to study the film and you got to do this and you got to whatever. I think every one of us fans just want to win here. That's it. We want to win.
Yeah. We want to
Big
win.
time. My man
Yeah.
Mike Jones is working all day today, so if we could think about him today as we go forward in our day, I would appreciate that as well. And now we go for Curt's final thoughts and the end of the show.
Hey, my thoughts for the end of the show is that for those individuals who say we should do our research, one thing I know that we always do our research. Like my man Luke G says over from DSA, we're not chumps. We do our research. Just because our opinions don't match yours doesn't mean we don't do our research, because our research just does not yield the same thing that yours does. So it is what it is. But it's all love, because you know what? We love everyone. We thank you for watching the show. It's all family. And like Jim said, we all just want to win. And sometimes you got to have some growing pains within the fan base and on the team, because just like the team who has growing pains, the fan base has the same growing pains as well. But again, as you go about your day, it's Thursday. So that means the week is almost over. So new Die Hard Dan podcast will be out tomorrow. So me and my man Shiny J, we're gonna chop it up for you. We're gonna bring some new things in a new type of format. You might not, you're not gonna get the same thing from me on Die Hard Dan that you get here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. So we have fun. And, we're gonna probably play some Hell Yeah or Hell No. I don't know. It's up in the air for that one, but you got to tune in to check it out. But as you go about your day, be kind to one another, spend time with your loved ones, and don't be afraid to tell the people that you love them, because they need to hear it. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. Hey, you got to boss up. But one thing, but first, you know what you can do. You can check us out over at bellyupsports.com. You can get the audio version of this show. Join the channel, subscribe to the channel, be a part of the family. We don't got fans, we don't got viewers, we got family, and it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Share the video, comment on the video, like the video. All of these things help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now go about your day and boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.